Expos are leading the Phillies 4-1. Brian Little having Ron McLean check out that right hand or wrist. He's having something fixed up there. Tape. Dr. McLean.
Right.
And we welcome back Donald Sutherland here for the Expos home opener.
Hey, his hair's a different color.
Well, he's just back from Europe, where he's been making some motion pictures.
Right.
So Donald's back. So is baseball in Montreal.
Right, right. It's official. Donald's back.
Argentina Salazar has flied to center field and flied out to right field. One strike on Argentina. He played most of last year at the AAA level. The Expos ball club last year in the American Association was located at Wichita, and Argentina hit .302 there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kevin Gross. This is his second inning of relief. Jerry Kuzman started for the Phillies, went the first 4, gave up 4 runs, 2 of them unearned.
That's right. Jerry deserved a better fate, actually. That 1 inning when the first 2 runs were scored, could have easily been out of that inning without a run.
Argentina Salazar with a bouncer to Gross, and he's out at first base. Now Gross has retired the 4 batters that he's faced so far in the game, and here comes Charlie Lee. Charlie's been up twice, on twice, and has scored 2 of the 4 runs. So he's been busy this afternoon, not only on the mound, but on the base paths.
Charlie 0 for 6 this year as a batter.
Ball 1 to Charlie Lee. For those who may have just joined us, Pete Rose got his 4,000th hit. It was a double in the 4th inning. 2 balls and no strikes. Two and 1. Now 2 and 2 to Charlie. Charlie Lee wears a number that will be enshrined under the name Drysdale, Cooperstown.
The Dodgers retiring Drysdale's number 53 in Los Angeles in July.
A fielding play for Gross. 2 down. Kevin Gross has now retired 5 in a row, and here comes Pete. That big number 4,000 is into the books now. We can look for the 3,000 single, Duke.
Right, he has 1,000 extra base hits now, and when he gets his next single, that'll be 3,000 singles. Fellow broadcast for the Phillies over here had over 2,000 singles himself, Richie Ashford. Some 2,200 singles.
Pete takes a strike. Pete, of course, got his hit, batting right-handed. Hit the ball to right field for the 2-base hit. Now he's batting left against the right-hander, Kevin Gross. 1 ball and 1 strike to Pete Rose. Getting that hit on the anniversary of his first hit in the big leagues back in 1963, April 13th. Tomorrow is Pete's birthday. Two and 1 pitch. Hit foul behind third base. Now there'll be 43 candles on the cake.
And the Phillies giving him a birthday present. They're pitching Steve Carlton.
Happy birthday, Pete. Here's Steve. It's a pretty good birthday present. Not too many people have gotten lefty for their birthday.
Right.
2-2 pitch. Schmidt tried to chase it down.
I got Marichal one night, struck out twice and grounded to second twice on my birthday.
That was no treat.
Alvin Dark was so nice to me that night.
The wonderful Juan.
Oh, he was a great pitcher.
2-2 pitch. Ground ball outside of first base. Pete is really battling here. He's fouling him off in all directions. Three balls and 2 strikes, a full count to Rose. Pete draws a walk. The other day in Cincinnati, when he was going for the 4,000th at Riverfront Stadium in his hometown, starting pitcher Bruce Perrine was so nervous about pitching to Rose. Not only did he walk Rose twice, he walked the batter ahead of Rose twice, Bryn Smith, and he came around and scored a couple of runs in that game for the Expos. Brian Little, 2 out of 3. Takes ball 1. Rose has been on base now 3 times. Officially 1 for 3 on the afternoon. 2 balls and no strikes to Brian Little. Brian Little with 16 hits leads the National League. Tim Raines is next with 15. Brian takes ball 3. All of a sudden, Gross, who did nothing but throw strikes to the first 5 hitters, got a little cautious with Rose. He battled and won a walk. Now Gross is behind 3-0 on Little.
Home plate is jumping.
And walked him. So inexplicably, Kevin Gross has a problem here with control. And 2 are on base for Tim Raines. Raines is 1 for 2 with a base on balls today. So that 1 for 2.
A couple of RBIs gives him 8 for the season.
1 strike on Raines. And the second slot in the league in hits. Raines pulls the ball sharply, but Juan Samuel is there on the right side, and Raines is out. No runs, no hits, 2 were left on. We've completed 6 at Olympic Stadium. The Expos lead the Phillies 4-1.
Go for the flavor, go for Okie Vale. Savor the flavor, go for Okie Vale. Go for the flavor, go for Okie Vale.
Go for the full flavor of O'Keefe Ale.
The story of a love affair relived,
Listen, dear.
and how it began 40 years ago.
Pardon me. I believe this is the same room. You're ashamed of me.
People are looking.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jane.
Then watch Cream in My Coffee, a movie special, Saturday. Mary Poppins.
Pour a spoonful of sugar.
Julie Andrews stars in the Disney classic. Mary Poppins, Saturday, April 21st.
Sunday.
I want to remind you that our next Expos telecast will be 1 week from this Sunday, April 22nd at 2 o'clock. The Expos will take on the St. Louis Cardinals in St. Louis. CBC television will be there to bring you all the action. The game will not be seen in Southern Ontario. Expos and the Cardinals 1 week from this Sunday, and that's our next telecast. Right here, the Expos lead the Phillies 4-1. Ivan DeJesus will lead it off, and then it looks like they're going to send Gary Maddox up to pinch hit. The pitcher's spot is due up, and then Juan Samuel, the second baseman. The Expos have 4 runs on 6 hits. They've made 1 error. The Phillies have a run on 5 hits. They've made 2 errors, leading to a couple of unearned runs. 2 other afternoon games going on. One in the American League, one here in the National League. Ball 1 to DeJesus. Detroit 8, Boston 6 in the 3rd inning at Fenway. Gedman and Evans have homered for the Red Sox. Salazar again loses his hat, but not the ball. 1 out in the 7th. And the Chicago Cubs with Steve Trout pitching. We'll tell you about it after we watch this.
Well, Salazar makes a routine play here. Dave mentioned losing his hat, but a strike to Carter.
They had some rain in Wrigley Field, Duke, but they got the game started about 20 minutes after the scheduled hour. And Steve Trout leads Dwight Gooden 1-0 in the 4th.
Well, I want to see that Dwight Gooden pitch. I understand he brings it up to the plate about 95, 96 miles an hour.
Yeah, and he's just 19 years old.
I guess we'll see him next week. Pitching today, that means we'll see him probably Tuesday or Wednesday in New York.
Maddox, the pinch hitter, and a ball for Rose, and Maddox is out.
Well, Pete coasting onto this one. Put that hand up, let everybody know he's going to catch it. Little Buster Brown haircut.
Juan Samuel, 1 out of 3. He doubled back in the 3rd inning. Samuel.
Thing about Charlie Lee, he knows how to put a game away. He had 8 complete games last year and 4 shutouts. He's going right after him now. He's got a 3-run lead and trying to keep it right there.
Charlie's pitch. Fouled off. Samuel putting a lot of thought into this situation. Charlie's ahead 1-2.
You have to against Lee because he can get several pitches over in a given situation.
That's it for the Phillies. They've gone 1-2-3. Nothing across midway in the 6th inning. The Expos lead the Phils 4-1. Expos baseball on CBC will return in a moment.
Nobody thought European automotive technology could be affordable. Then Renault introduced Alliance. At first, only a few discriminating buyers recognized the benefits. Comfort for 5, a quiet, smooth ride, incredible fuel efficiency. But its reputation grew and grew until Alliance became one of the best-selling cars in North America. Renault Alliance. See your dealer now for celebration sale savings. Renault, the one to watch.
Carlsberg proudly presents new Carlsberg Bock.
When those skies clear up. Let's have a Carlsberg fun. When those clouds go cheer up. Let's have a Carlsberg fun.
New Carlsberg Bock. We brew only a little of this rather special beer each year, but we sell it at regular beer prices to give you something to celebrate.
When the sun shines all over the place, let's have a Carlsberg fun.
Yeah. Bill Campbell on the pitch here for the Philadelphia Phillies. Kevin Gross went 2 innings. No runs, no hits. He walked 2. He struck out 1. Campbell, an ex-Cub, got in 9 games with the Cubs last year against the Expos, had 1 save. Montreal with a 4.38 ERA against Campbell, and you're looking at his line this year. Bill Campbell coming over to the Phillies from the Cubs in a deal that sent Gary Matthews, Bob Dernier, and Porfi Altamirano to the Chicago Cubs on May 27th.
Well, they used Campbell quite a bit last year. 82 games he was in last year.
Led the league in appearances.
Right.
He pitched over 122 innings, the most by any National League relief pitcher.
And naturally, his nickname is Soupy.
He's been around for a while. He's in his 11th year. Broke in with the Twins. Pitched at Boston, Chicago, now Philadelphia. The Hawk comes up. Dawson, Carter, and Wallach in the bottom of the 7th. Dawson is 0 for 2. President Chuck Feeney, along with Jim Fanning, Bill Stoneman, and Mrs. McHale. This is John McHale, president of the National League.
Old Chubb.
Dawson hits one foul past Russ Nixon. Pete Rose has 1 hit in 3 trips. Brian Little has 2 hits. Tim Raines has a hit. Then when you get to the numbers 4 and 5 in the batting order, Dawson is hitless in 3 trips to the plate, officially 0 for 2, and Gary is 0 for 3.
He unbuttoned a couple of buttons on Chubb Feeney's shirt. Look inside, and you see a giant T-shirt underneath. Even though he's a president of the National League.
Still roots for him, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Dawson started to go. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, he was with the New York Giants before they moved west. The Giants. I guess it gets in your blood.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
I've never forgiven him my National League pass. The first year I started broadcasting, Dave, instead of Duke Snyder, said Duck Snyder.
Oh, nice. Fly ball right center. In the gap. Dawson's going for 3. He'll make it.
What happens when you miss the cutoff man? If the throw had gone to the first man, De Jesus would have thrown Dawson out, but the throw missed De Jesus, carried a lot further, and the second baseman Samuel got the ball. By the time he could get it, why, it was too late to get Andre. Andre hits this towering fly ball to right center field.
Andre's 2nd triple of the season. Gary Carter looking for his first hit of the day. And a big chance to drive in a run here.
I will see the ball and watch the throw. Vaughn Hayes making a strong throw, but a bit too far.
1-0 pitch, and Carter pops the ball down that right field line. It's trouble, and it's a hit and a run batted in. Carter's on his way to second. A double for Carter and an RBI, his 10th. 5-1 Expos.
Well, that's the thing we're seeing Gary do more of. Use all the field. This time a flare down the right field line. Gets himself an RBI and his 5th double of the year.
So Gary gets into the hit column with that 2-base hit and an RBI, and now Tim Wallach up looking for his 3rd hit. He's 2 for 3. Wallach fouls Campbell's pitch off. $48,060 for the opener here today. Nobody out. The 1-strike pitch to Wallach. Campbell caught the inside corner. So the veteran right-handers ahead 0-2. And Wallach looking for his 9th RBI. And of course, if he hits it out, he can get 9 and 10 here. He has hit 2 home runs. Campbell ahead 0-2. And Wallach hits a line drive to center. A base hit in front of Hayes. Runners will be at 1st and 3rd.
Gary Carter couldn't decide right away whether that ball was going to be a base hit or not, and rightfully so. Von Hayes could have possibly made a shoestring catch and double him off second, so he had to wait and make sure the ball was going to hit AstroTurf before it hit a glove.
Well, the Expos could hit for the cycle here. They've got a triple, double, and a single.
Well, Ramos hit a home run with the Yankees. His only hit with the Yankees was a home run.
Bobby Ramos is 0 for 3. Infield in, but not all the way. Ball 1 to Ramos. Nobody out. 5-1 Expos. Fouled off by Ramos. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bobby Ramos making his 2nd start of the season. There's Carter at 3rd base and Wallach over at 1st base. Ball and 2 strikes. Ramos last year was in 26 games all season as a catcher. Looks like he'll get more this year. He lost the bat there. Bobby striking out, 1 away. And Argentina Salazar coming up.
Well, Bobby fooled on this breaking ball way outside. He tried to reach as far as he could. The top hand came off the bat, and then bottom hand followed suit. Think we could have a squeeze play somewhere along the way here?
I think it'd be a good idea right here.
Well, you never know when you're going to have enough runs. It's 5-1, but another run wouldn't hurt.
One strike on Argentina Salazar. Salazar looking at Nixon. Russ going through the signs.
Well, he's very deliberate with his signals. If you miss one, why, there's no excuse for it.
We'll see what happens here.
Could be a pitch out.
The pitch.
No.
A strike. 0-2.
Well, there won't be a squeeze now with 2 strikes.
No.
Once in a while you see it, but manager's kind of digging when he does that.
First and third for the runners with one away and a 2-strike pitch coming up to Argenis Salazar. Bill Campbell's ready. Strike 3 call on Salazar. And he was not happy with that. Thought it was a ball.
It was a fastball. Salazar may be looking for something else. He's a long way from home plate. And we've commented on that before on radio that he's moved off the plate just prior to the start of the season and not hitting the ball near as well as he did during spring training when he's a little bit closer to the plate.
Charlie Lee up. Officially 0 for 2. He has scored a couple of runs today. He looks at strike 1 from Campbell. The Expos lead the Phillies 5-1. They have out-hit Philadelphia 9-5. They scored a run in this inning before anybody was out and had runners at first and third with none out. But Campbell struck out Ramos and Salazar and now is ahead 0-2 on Charlie Lee. The 0-2 pitch. This is the first game the Expos have played against an East Division club. We'll meet some of the East Division teams now for a while after opening with Houston, Atlanta, and Cincinnati. So Campbell struck out the side after he gave up a run on 3 hits and stranded 2 base runners at the end of 7 innings of play at Olympic Stadium. Expos 5, Phillies 1. Miguel Delaunay, newcomer to the Expos for 1984. Jim Walford is in the game. He's playing in right field. Andre Dawson coming out. So Dawson finished up 1 for 3 with that triple against Campbell, and he scored a run. Jim Walford in to play in right. And Charlie Lee in the 8th inning will pitch to Len Matusak, Mike Schmidt, and Joe LaFay. Duke, how do you see the East Division here early?
That's a good question, Dave. We haven't seen some of the teams in the Eastern Division, but I still look for the stiffest competition to come from the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Pretty good pitching staff, isn't it?
Yes, they do. They've got a pretty solid ball club, and they've got a couple of guys that outfield. They lost Easler and they lost Parker, but I think Frobel's going to do a job for them, and several other young players. They're going to be tough. The Cardinals, you don't know. It depends on what their pitching does. But the Expos, to me, have got as good a chance as anybody. They get their pitching straightened out.
A couple of those Pirates are off to terrific starts. Marvell Wynn has had a good start, and Johnny Ray, the second baseman. The pitch to Matusak. Hit high into the air to right center, and Walford has already called for it. Raines calls him off, and Walford steps behind him.
The Mets are improved. They've got a couple of young pitchers with Ron Darling. got a couple of pitchers, and then they got Orozco out of the bullpen, and they seem to be hitting the ball well. But they won't win it, but they are improved. Cubs seem to be improved.
They're going at each other today.
It'll be a tough division.
Mike Schmidt, 1 for 3. Infield hit in the first inning. 1 strike on Schmidt. Charlie Lee has only walked 1. That was Joe LeFay in the first inning. He's got 5 strikeouts. Strong performance here this afternoon. A 1-strike pitch. And Schmidt hops it up. Carter wants this. Ramos calls, but Gary waves him off, and he's got it. Two down. Carter getting some lines, a few one-liners, I guess, from the dugout, huh?
Yeah, they probably hollered at him, "You want that when you're catching. Why not take it when you're a first baseman?" He did.
Glenn Wilson. Or, excuse me, Joe LeFay. Wilson on deck. If LeFay can do something here with 2 away. Ball 1. Lee with the 1-0 pitch. Just inside, ball 2. The Expos right now using Charlie Lee, Bill Gullickson, David Palmer, Bryn Smith. A week from today, Steve Rogers will get a start against the Cardinals. 3 balls, no strikes. Pitch and a called strike. Phillies are using, of course, Carlton, Denny, Charlie Hudson, and Jerry Kuzman right now in their starting rotation. The 3-1 pitch. Sailed it high and issues his second walk, and again it is to Joe LeFay. So here comes Wilson. He struck out his first time up. Since then has had a couple of doubles. Andre Dawson out of the game now, watching from the Expos dugout. First base coach Philippe Ballou standing there. Wilson doubled and scored the only Philadelphia run in the 4th inning. He had a 2-base hit again in the 6th inning. One strike on Glenn Wilson. There's David Palmer, Bryn Smith, and beyond Bill Gullickson. Palmer pitching here on Sunday against Denny. The 1-strike pitch, and Wilson hits that back into the seats. Two away. Lee checking LeFay at first. That's it for Glenn Wilson. Charlie gets his 6th strikeout, and the Phillies strand a base runner. The Expos lead this one 5-1 from Olympic Stadium in Montreal. Expos baseball on CBC.
Hey, Canada.
Welcome to Miller Time. Now through here, it's yours and mine. Bring your thirsty self right here. You've got the time, we've got the beer for what you have in mind. Canada, welcome to Miller Time, yours and mine.
Miller High Life, now available at regular beer prices. Canada, welcome to Miller Time.
Whoever wondered if your United Way gift is really appreciated.
The story of a love affair relived.
Listen, dear.
And how it began 40 years ago.
Pardon me? I can't believe this is the same room. You're ashamed of me.
People are looking.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jane. Then watch Cream in My Coffee, a movie special, Saturday. The Masters, one of golf's biggest prizes. From Augusta, Georgia, watch third round and final round action Saturday and Sunday on Sports Weekend.
Larry Anderson is the new Philadelphia pitcher. We're looking, however, at John Denny, last year's Cy Young Award winner in the National League. And he'll pitch against David Palmer here on Sunday afternoon. Pete Rose will lead it off against Larry Anderson. Rose, Little, and Raines. There you see Anderson's numbers. A 30-year-old right-hander, stands 6'3", originally drafted by the Indians. Pitched some with Cleveland, up and down in their system, 75. Pitched a little bit in the American League in 77, 79. Went to Seattle for a couple of years. And this is his second season with the Phillies. Pete Rose looking for his 3,000th single. Got his 4,000th hit back in the fourth inning, a double to right field. Campbell worked one, gave up a run on 3 hits, and struck out 3. The bottom of the 8th. Charlie Lee and the Expos leading the Phillies 5-1. 1-2 on Pete Rose. The 1-2 pitch. A play for DeJesus. And Pete's out at first base. One away, Brian Little will come to the plate. Little has 2 hits on the afternoon in his first 2 trips to the plate. He had a base hit in the first and again in the second, then grounded to short in the 4th inning and walked in the 6th inning. Little leading the league with 16 hits right now. Ball 1. Raines has 15. Carter has 14 hits. The 1-0 pitch, and Little hits a shot to right field, but this will be caught by LeFay. Two down. Tim Raines will bat. There's Spire watching. There's Billy DeMars. Terry Francona sitting up on top of the dugout bench along with Steve Rogers. One strike on Raines. Manager Bill Burden told Francona that he would sit out against some left-handers, so you have to figure that if he was sat out today against Kuzma, that he will be out of the lineup tomorrow against Carlton, and that, again, Carter will be at first base. We don't know that for sure, but that's the way you would figure it because he wasn't in the lineup today.
You'd think so, but Terry has been hitting left-handers. We'll see at a time where he'll be playing against more of them than he'll be sitting down again.
2 balls and 1 strike. I kind of thought he'd be in there against Kuzman today.
Yeah, I did too.
Strike to Raines, 2-2.
You're going to have your druthers at this stage of Kuzman's career. You'd rather face him than Carlton. Not knocking Jerry because he's still quite a pitcher.
Raines strikes out. The Expos are through in the 8th after 8 completes. Expos lead the Phillies 5-1.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
What do you get when you drop a grand piano down a mine shaft?
I don't know. What do you get when you drop a grand piano down a mine shaft?
A-flat minor!
Yukoners. Special people in special places.
A reminder that we'll be on CBC television with the Expos Cardinals game from Bush Memorial Stadium in St. Louis 1 week from this Sunday afternoon. 2 o'clock Eastern time. The Expos taking on the Cardinals. That'll be the 3rd game of a 3-game series there. And we'll be there to bring you the action. The game will not be seen in Southern Ontario. Here in the 9th inning, Von Hayes, Bo Diaz, Ivan DeJesus. Charlie Lee has pitched a dandy. Here's Darrell Thomas taking over in left field. Pete coming out of the game. Thomas is in left. Charlie Lee has been something else. He's allowed 1 run and was back in the 4th. He has scattered 5 hits. He only allowed 2 hits in any 1 inning. That was the 4th. When a 2-out single by Bo Diaz up the middle scored Glenn Wilson with the Phillies' only run. And Charlie has struck out, let's see how many. 6 strikeouts. He's missing 1. And he's walked 1 batter, Joe LaFay, twice. So good work by Charlie. Ball 1 to Von Hayes, who was called out on strikes leading off the 2nd. Bounced out to 3rd in the 4th, then he grounded out to first base in the 6th inning. A strike to Hayes. That game at Fenway Park's moved to the 4th inning. Detroit 9, Boston 6. And Lance Parrish has hit his first home run of the season for the Tigers. The Tigers, of course, looking for their 8th straight victory here at the start of the season. The 1-1 pitch. 2 balls and a strike. And the National League game has now gone into the 5th. And the Cubs knocked the youngster out of there. Dwight Gooden is out of the game for the New York Mets. Ed Lynch is on. Cubs lead it 6-0 in the 5th inning at Wrigley Field. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Off the fist, a fly ball for Walford, the right fielder. Walford, who came into the game in the last inning for Dawson in right, puts 1 away here. 1 down, and Bo Diaz coming up. 1 for 3. Paid attendance today, 48,060 for the Expos home opener. This man will be very happy with his performance today. Ball 1 to Diaz. Charlie Lee, 1-1 last year against the Phillies. About to win one here. He missed. Ball 2. The 2-0 pitch. Off that inside corner, ball 3 to Diaz. The Philly shortstop, Ivan De Jesus, is on deck. Lee's 3-0 pitch. And he walked Diaz on 4 pitches. That'll bring De Jesus up with 1 out. Ramos talking to Charlie, and Gary Carter coming over to talk to him. Now, Charlie, ideally, will get a double play ball here. That's what he'll hope for. He's gotten De Jesus to hit the ball on the ground to the left side of the infield 3 times today. He's 0 for 3. Starts him off with a strike. And De Jesus off to a good start with the bat. Had hit in all 7 Philly games. This is their 8th, and he's on the line with that hit streak. Lines it to Wallach at third. Two down. Here it is. Wallach spearing the line drive. So De Jesus has his early season hit streak come to an end. And he's disappointed, needless to say. Here's Tim Corcoran. Pinch hitting in the number 9 spot. 2 away in the 9th. Corcoran 1 for 4 here at the start of the season. Pinch hitting. Ball 1 to the left-handed batter. Carter behind the runner at first. Lee missed low and in, ball 2. Corcoran's had some big league experience with the Tigers back in the late 70s. Played a bit with Minnesota in '81. And made the long climb back to the majors after playing with the Twins briefly in '81. He was in the minors in '82 and most all of last year. Got in 3 games last fall with the Phillies. Charlie is behind 3 balls and no strikes to Tim Corcoran. Should Corcoran get on base here, why, Juan Samuel, the leadoff man, will come to the plate. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and that's ball 4. The Expos have got Jeff Reardon and Gary Lucas loosening up in the bullpen beyond the left field fence. A couple of walks here in the 9th. Two down, and Samuel is up. 1 out of 4 on the afternoon. The last time Charlie faced him, he struck him out. That was in the 7th inning. Samuel takes a strike. Charlie trying to put the home opener away right here in the ninth. The one-strike pitch to Samuel. Ball one. 1-1. Bo Diaz at second base. Tim Corcoran at first base. Phillies have not had a hit since Glenn Wilson's double in the 6th inning. And that's their only hit from the 4th inning on. Here's Lee's 1-1 pitch. Inside, he hit him, and that's going to load him up. So Charlie, who is battling his control here, drills Juan Samuel on the left hip. And he's on his way to first. And the bases are loaded, and Bill Verdon is coming out. Charlie walked Diaz with 1 out. He walked Corcoran with 2 outs, and has now hit Juan Samuel. Now Charlie would dearly love to finish this. There it is. Ouch. But Verdon is going to go to the bullpen. So Charlie will leave after 8 2/3 innings. And there we can take a look behind the fence into the Expos bullpen, where the left-hander Gary Lucas has gotten the call. And Len Matuzak, left-handed batter, is due up here. Now we'll have to see whether or not Paul Owens wants to do something. He could go to the right-handed batter, John Walkenfuss. The pinch hit here, we'll leave that to Paul Owens. See how he wants to play it. Gary Lucas comes on. So this is his first Olympic Stadium game in the Expos uniform. It's Lucas's 5th game overall. The big left-hander has been in 4 other games, pitching 5 1/3 innings. He has struck out 7 in those 5 1/3 innings, walking only 1, but he's given up some hits, 9 hits in 5 1/3. Looks like he started to straighten things out, though, the other day when he pitched 3 superb innings in support of Bryn Smith in Cincinnati. There you see the numbers on Lucas. Now, what Lucas did in Cincinnati was he worked from the set position rather than the windup, and that helped him. He pitched 3 very strong innings on Wednesday. So he'll try to get the 3rd out of this 9th inning here. And the Phillies have loaded the bases. The Expos lead 5-1. Samuel is at first base. Corcoran at second base. Diaz at third base. Gary Lucas, who over the last 3 seasons has logged more saves than any other left-hander in the National League, pitching with the San Diego Padres, now a member of the Expos, 29 years old. Last year he saved 17 games for the Padres and had 5 wins in 62 relief appearances. The 17 saves that Gary logged last year tied him for 11th in the National League, 5th among left-handers. Gary Lucas ready to work here, and it'll be the right-handed batter, John Walkenfuss. So Paul Owens electing to go with his right-handed bat. Ball 1 to Walkenfuss. Walkenfuss has 4 hits in 5 at-bats in 3 games that he's appeared in with the Phillies, and coming off the bench as a pinch hitter, he is 2 for 2. Ball 2, and Lucas has not thrown a strike. Oak is trying to put it away for Charlie Lee, who went 8 2/3. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Walkenfuss swings and misses, strike one. Last thing in the world the Expos want to do is get to the guy that's in the on-deck circle. It's Mike Schmidt. A 2-1 pitch to Walkenfuss. 3 balls and 1 strike.